Morning, Seamus. How are you?
Good morning, Peter. I'm very well, and you?
Seamus, I am absolutely brilliant. Summer hasn't quite started yet, but it's still good. It's still good.
Will it
Uh,
ever start in reality?
well, yeah, it does feel like a bit like that. Like Seamus, welcome to the Business Spotlight. Thanks very much for taking the time to speak with me today. Could we start? Could you tell me a little about yourself and your background and your business, please?
Sure. My name is Seamus Kearney. I'm the CEO of a company called ARC Regulatory. So my educational background is as an engineer. I graduated from Queen's with a bachelor's degree in aeronautical engineering. I then went back, did a master's in computer and mechanical engineering design. And I started work shortly thereafter as a design engineer for a medtech company, primarily general medical devices, sort of high complexity, low volume electromechanical software driven medical devices. And then over the last, I would say maybe 13, 14 years, a little bit longer, transitioned over to in vitro diagnostic medical devices. Again, more on the instrumentation side, looking at software, looking at electromechanical design in a regulatory or design quality role. And yeah, over the last number of years, as a professional in the medical technology industry, but also as a business owner and business leader, have been focused on the area of precision medicine and in vitro diagnostic medical devices that are used to identify patients who are going to benefit from targeted medicinal therapies. So the company Arc Regulatory, in its current form, really started in 2017, where I hired my first regulatory associate. And that came about really, I suppose, as a result of getting involved in this precision medicine field, but also there were a number of regulatory changes that were coming down the track, quite significant regulatory changes coming down the track, primarily in the European Union, but also elsewhere, which was likely to have a significant impact and effect on in vitro diagnostic medical devices. So started the company from there, and we focus almost 100% on supporting primarily pharmaceutical companies who are implementing in vitro diagnostics into their clinical trials to select patients who are positive for what we call a particular biomarker and are therefore likely to benefit from their medicinal product. And we have grown over the last number of years to a team of 23 full-time employees across quality, regulatory, clinical operations, and other support functions. And we also work with a network of about 15 contractors who are located globally, who do what we call clinical site monitoring, which is just going on to clinical trial sites and making sure that the conduct of that clinical trial is compliant with the protocol, local and global regulations, etc.
What was the spark that led you to launch ARC in its current form?
I would say, as we touched upon just now, the significant impact that changing regulations were going to have on the availability of in vitro diagnostic medical devices, from I suppose, more of a business perspective and seeing that window of opportunity. But I would say personally, the spark was really around up to that point. It was just me. I was doing short-term contract work for a number of large global medtech companies. And with two young kids at that point, and as the main breadwinner in the home, my wife had sort of gone down to part-time work after our second child was born. It was just developing something that actually would have legs and could function on its own as a business without me, should the worst ever happen. I know that's quite dark and macabre, but that was the personal thinking behind it. That there would be a continuing business and stream of income for my family in the worst possible circumstances. I'm not normally a glass half empty kind of guy, but
Okay.
that was part of the motivation.
What would you say has been the biggest lesson in your business journey from transitioning from working on your own to having a team under you?
I'd say the biggest lesson is around people. While people are absolutely crucial and the most important resource that we have in business, they, you know, people generally have, their own individual needs, wants, desires, their own outlook on life and their career. And I suppose early on, I perhaps spent an awful lot of time and effort kind of worrying and pondering and trying to keep everybody happy, and that's pretty much an impossible task. So I would say the biggest lesson is we established our values, our culture, we set out our stall of what it is to work with ARC, with people's needs generally at the center of that. And that's how we present ourselves. This is what it's like to work at ARC. And if that doesn't suit some people, then we're happy for them to move on and find something that might be more in their swim lane, or might be more suitable for them. But we strive to create a great place to work. We offer a lot of benefits and flexibility and all of that good stuff, as well as the opportunity to work on really exciting projects at the cutting edge of medicine. If we try to create that amazing culture of a great place to work, but we can't keep everybody happy all the time. So my I suppose nugget to others who are maybe setting out and thinking about hiring people is just be true to who you are, and be true to what you want from an organization, your organization, and how you want to present yourself, and just live that. And if it suits people, it suits them. If it doesn't, there will be other opportunities elsewhere that may be more appropriate for them.
Excellent. And life and business are both full of surprises. What would you say has been the biggest surprise along your journey?
I would say, where I sort of set off in May 2017, and my vision for what the company would look like is very different to what it is today. I mean, I was from a medtech background, primarily, as I said, electronics, software, electromechanics. And that's not where we are today. We're working very much in science rather than engineering. Most of our in vitro diagnostic medical devices are, by their very nature, the assays, the experiments, and the reagents are chemicals, effectively, and it is all about the science. So most of our people are from that kind of background, either from medicine or from in vitro diagnostic medical device development background, and a scientific background. And so, we've kind of transitioned into that space, and we have carved out a bit of a niche for ourselves that, we're lucky that we don't really have competition globally for what it is that we do. We offer expertise and deep insights into the space that other companies can't provide, because they have not had the benefit of working supporting precision medicine clinical trials over a 10, 12-year period. So we're from where the vision I had at the beginning to where we are now, and we've added on other things as well. We now have a software platform, a software as a service platform, called ARC 360. It is a regulatory navigator platform. We have been successful with Innovate UK and Ulster University on a KTP program. We're hiring for that KTP at the moment. And we're about to launch the redevelopment of our regulatory navigator platform, implementing artificial intelligence, large language processing models, things like that into this regulatory navigator, which will be a bit of a game changer and revolutionize how pharmaceutical companies access knowledge and expertise for in vitro diagnostics in their medicinal product trials.
And are there any business leaders that have inspired you along your journey, or that you look to today for inspiration?
I would Nobody at a kind of, big global level. I would say just, local people who have, maybe spun out from university research, or they've had an idea, they've started a business from zero, and taken it through in whatever way, whether, I suppose the typical model is to go out seeking investment. We thankfully to date haven't had to do that. Our business is bootstrapped, but that's not to say that with the development of our SaaS platform, we won't have to go on that journey. But I admire anyone who has been through that journey, that constant sort of, I suppose, I wouldn't say it's necessarily a struggle, but there is that, there is that stress element of always looking for the money, while at the same time trying to do all those other things around, building teams, creating, happy, high-performing teams, all the financial, all of those other pieces of setting up a business, but then, that added stress and pressure of, having to constantly go out and look for funding to reach your goals, and also having a board, and having someone that you have to answer to. Again, I could probably benefit from that, and I probably will look for that external support in the very near future, somebody to hold me to account. But I'm just hugely, I have huge admiration for people who go on that journey and take a business from zero to, exit within a 5, 6, 7, 8 year period. So that's not, I suppose, the big names up in lights, but it's just the individuals who are doing their thing. And there are tons of them here in the north. I mean, we are such an innovative little region. And even in Catalyst, where we're headquartered, there are so many people and teams on that campus who are on that journey, and they're doing amazingly well at it.
And Seamus, what gets you out of bed in the morning and really drives your passion for your business?
Just seeing the growth, seeing the growth is one thing, but also I suppose we're very lucky in that it is so easy to see the benefit that our day-to-day activity actually has in real life. Because what we do is, expediting the availability of, I suppose, hope through, interventions, medicinal interventions for people who perhaps have none. And in particular in, I suppose, the rare disease or the oncology space, which is two areas where, precision medicine is quite focused at the moment. It is spreading out to other areas, but those two areas, oncology and rare disease, our day-to-day activity is helping patients access, investigational drugs that might be their last hope, might save their lives, or at the very least extend their lives well beyond what's available on the market today. So that's a big driver, just because you don't know at what point that might be a member of your family, or it might be yourself who is searching for hope. And the activity that we do in supporting big pharma companies is certainly expediting the availability of hope for those patients who don't have any. But yeah, on the business side, I'm just, I'm really into business growth, looking at, innovation. We're quite an innovative little company. We've got, 3 or 4 projects in our innovation pipeline, one of which we've spoken about, the latest version of our software as a service platform, but just other innovative, perhaps AI-driven solutions for some of our business processes internally as well. And we're looking at projects with Queen's University in Ulster in some of those areas, and those things really excite me because you can develop them internally, and then it's okay. Well, if this has worked for us, is there a way that we can commercialize this? And that could become a business in its own right, or it could become another product or service line that we can offer. So standing still is never an option for me. Sort of business as usual, and maybe that's probably one of the drivers that sort of got me to start my own business as well. It's just a very low attention span. So I'm always looking for something else, you know. It's like where's the next new shiny thing that I can either develop or get involved in, and that's hugely exciting. To be able to say that you can do that in your working life. And I would hope that, you know, as a business, we are providing our team the opportunity to experience that as well. You know, that kind of hunger and zest for improvement, and you know, different things that we can become involved in that may eventually turn into a product or a service.
And if you were on a desert island and you're allowed one podcast or one book or both, what would you read or listen to?
I'd probably have, sadly, a hurling podcast of some description. And I would say the book, my favorite book of all time, is a book. The author's name escapes me right now, but it's a book called A Prayer for Own Meaning. And it was just, it was amazing. Absolute page turner. Love it. Could read it over and over again. Or To Kill a Mockingbird. That's another fantastic book.
Very good.
Am I allowed two or just one?
Yeah, no, that's all right. That's okay. And like if you could go back in time, Seamus, and give some advice to your 18-year-old self, what would that sound like?
Don't sweat it, I suppose, you know. Not that I ever did, to be honest. I suppose that's maybe not that sound an advice. I think I have an 18-year-old now. That's the advice that I would give to him. Things just sort of fall into place, you know. I I probably wouldn't change a thing. You know, I've had a great time, you know, enjoyed my university years, have had amazing opportunities through you know, being able to access education here, and just with the changing society here in Northern Ireland as well, the number of opportunities that have arisen out of that. So, you know, what would I say to my 18-year-old self? Yeah, don't panic about not having a plan. You know, it's I'm not sure, I'm not sure that anyone, there's probably a very slim cohort of people who have a plan at 18 or 28 or 38, you know, or at any stage, but things just work out.
Brilliant. And look, if someone likes what they've heard, Seamus, someone would like to reach out or get in touch, what would be the best way for them to go about that?
So they can access myself on LinkedIn, just Seamus Kearney. The company name is Arc Regulatory, or you can log on to our website, which is www.arc-regulatory.com, and make contact that way. So yeah, just those two methods are probably best.
Superb. Well, Seamus Kearney from Arc Regulatory, thanks very much for sharing your time and your story and your journey. And I wish you all the success for the remaining half of 2024 and beyond. Seamus, thanks very much indeed.
Thanks a million, Peter. Lovely to speak to you.